Hi, today I'm going to show you how to ferment cabbage for a kraut. And first what I did was I cut up a whole Napa cabbage. You can also use regular cabbage. Take away all your, your black wilty leaves. Sometimes I just cut it out and rinse them off. You might want to save those on the side, just a couple leaves. It depends on how big your jar is going to be. So what you do is you cut up your cabbage, and I'll show you how I diced mine up about yay big, because I kind of like big chunks. You can dice it up really small. A lot of people do that. And when they're talking about massaging cabbage, it sounds really weird, and if you don't know it, it's like, what do you mean massage my cabbage? So what people are referring to is, once you cut the cabbage up, and I would say like a third of the bowl, you begin to squish the cabbage with your hands. And as you're squishing the cabbage, liquids begin to form. And that's going to be your brine, otherwise known as liquid. And when you massage that cabbage and put layers of salt, you'll get that salty flavor. Sometimes I'll put a little vinegar in there just because I like it to be really pungent, or I'll put whole cloves of garlic, jalapenos. I do all kinds of additives, but this is just the basic kraut, which people make it a lot more difficult than what it is, and I wanted to make it really easy for you. I always save every jar I have. This is a coconut, organic coconut oil jar. So you want to cut up your cabbage and you want to begin doing this massaging, and as you do it reduces. Then you add new cabbage and you just keep doing this. Literally it can be done in 20 minutes if you're really good at it. I do mine throughout the day because I'm busy, and you can leave it on the counter. And with each layer I do pink Himalayan salt, and it tends to be a little bit more salty. So I always notice when I get it out, it's just never quite salty enough for me because I'm on a really strict diet. So as you begin cutting your cabbage, if you want it really thin and stringy, if you want it kind of chunky, just continue grabbing and twisting, and you can smash it. Don't use metal though. And I just massage with my hands, and the liquid begins to form. And as you add more cabbage, this was a whole Napa cabbage, and now as you can see, it's in this. So once you've done this and say you're ready to, it's as soft as you want it, or it's all massaged in and all your brine is there and you've blended everything and you have all the ingredients you want in it, the key to do this is when you're putting the cabbage in that you've massaged, you want to really force it down, really pack it in, and you wouldn't believe like how much air is really in there. And as you begin pushing, as you see, the brine is coming to the top, so I always take a little bit off and I continue pressing. Sometimes I'll use the end of a spoon and just make sure it's really getting in there, and then I'll use the paddle part and just press as hard as you can. Sometimes I'll let it sit here and settle for a little bit, and I'll come back and add more and add more. As you can see, I'm getting down to the bottom. So I squish it, apply it, and continue to press. That whole cabbage will fit in that little jar. Like I said, I've put roasted garlic in there. I've put fresh garlic cloves. I've done minced garlic. I've done ginger. Every form of seasoning that you could put in there. Peppercorns are good. Now, some people leave it on their cabinet for weeks at a time because they really want that kind of sauerkraut that you're used to getting at the store. I like it crispy, so I don't leave mine in there for 2 weeks. So this is ready to go pretty much. You just want it to be right above the cabbage. You don't want it to float and have an inch of water. You just really want it to be right above it. So I still have a little bit too much liquid in there, and I'm going to continue pressing. And you just wouldn't believe how much moisture is in there. If you want to add some vinegar, if you want to add chili peppers, kimchi, you can. This is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. And it's so easy. It's not as complicated as everyone's making it to be. I know a lot of people out there jar, so they might want to take that process. But for some of us that like our food more raw, this is the way to go. So now I'm done pressing. I can feel that there's really no air in there. As you're pressing, it's almost like a mattress. You know, you can feel that it's going to give. So as I'm making the video now, I'm pressing. As I'm doing that, more brine is coming to the surface. And I just keep dumping a little bit of it out. And I actually eat it as I go. Really good. Lots of salt, I like that. I don't have a lot of salt in my diet. I'm continuing to press, and now it's ready to go. So, once you've compacted everything in there nice and tight, and you can even probably continue to get the spoon and press really hard, and you'll still get some space in there. Once that happens, and you have your brine just above the level of cabbage, you want to clean the sides and make sure you wipe everything down. And you know me, I'm never prepared and I never flip my camera. This is just Cindy's kitchen. You wipe everything down really well because you don't want to get gnats in your closet, or I'm going to put it in my food cabinet. And you don't want any cabbage floating above. So any little pieces, you want to just make sure they're all submerged in the brine. And ta-da! We have fermentation. We have fresh kraut. I'm going to continue playing with this recipe and making more videos. I think fermentations are extremely beneficial to the colon, to your intestines, for your whole body. They're pre-diagnosing me with pancreatic cancer. I don't know how that happened, actually, because I'm kind of a health nut, and that was a little difficult for me to believe that I actually had some precursors to pancreatic cancer, but I began fermenting before that, and I think it's very important with any illness to treat it with fermentations. There is a chemical composition that goes on in fermentations that are absolutely imperative for health. And at first, yes, you will get some gas and you will get bloated and you will think like, oh my gosh, this cabbage is killing me. But it's not. It's actually doing its job. It's replacing those enzymes and amino acids, and there's so many benefits. On top of that, we have kefir, and we have kimchi, and we have salsas and fermented kale, and there's just a whole world of fermentations. But when I was looking for a kraut video, I really had all these people who are doing this highly scientific form of kraut making. And I just love it this way. I think it's awesome. It's recyclable in your jars. And now I'm just going to put it in the food closet. So make sure it's nice and covered and wiped off. I put it in there. And I always notate the day, so I know which day I put it in there. And that's it. Take it out. I wish I could fast forward and show you what it looks like after. It looks like really green kraut. It tastes amazing. I add it to every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I put it in my denatured cricket shakes in the morning, and with berries, and I put some of that cabbage in there, and you can't even taste it. And it keeps the bowel nice and happy. And with this pancreatic enzyme that I'm putting off, I'm noticing that I'm getting my health back. I'm not weak. I'm not showing the signs. So don't put a cap on it. You don't want to do that. You want to let it breathe. And I'm just telling you from my personal experience, and just recently becoming ill, my life went from 0 to negative 1,000,000. So I'm excited about fermenting. I'm excited about giving people simplistic videos that explain it. You just massage it in a bowl with some salt and whatever you want, chili pepper. I've done everything. And you put that in the jar, pack it down really tight. I don't think you can pack it down enough. And 2 to 3 days later, if you feel like eating it, open it up. If you want to try it another day as an experiment, you can. I just did it with Napa cabbage. They said it couldn't be done, and I just did it, and it's going to be amazing, and I can already taste it. And it's nice and crunchy, just the way I like it. So, good luck with your fermentation. I hope your krauts are awesome. Have a great night.